Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. A little bit of a different background this evening. I decided that we were leaving the house tonight, or we left the house tonight, for a few reasons that we'll get to. But for now, we are sitting on the patio at the JL North Ranch and about to enjoy a beverage together. And I just realized that I left mine inside. I have part A. How bad is it if I run in the house? Is that bad? Can y'all hang out for just I'll make it quick, like 2 minutes. I was on time tonight, which is pretty remarkable anyway. So it'll be just like regular times where I'm 5 minutes late. Hold please, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. We got football camp happening behind us, and we have a bit of a disaster here because there's no ice machine here. So every once in a while, I'll buy ice and I'll stick it in the freezer. Well, I haven't looked. I don't know. Why is it bouncing? Okay. It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. It's a great Tuesday. Okay. So I am having some Diet Mountain Dew and some Kinky Aloha, and I have bouncy ice, the only one chunk. And now my dirty hands have gotten this cup gross, like when you were a kid and you drank Kool-Aid out of the cup and you showed your handprints on it too. I'm a wreck. It's Tuesday. It's fine. It's going to be totally fine. We're going to put a little drink in there. It smells good. Smells great. Okay, a little bit more of this. We got ourselves a big cocktail tonight. Bouncy Kinks is what we're going to call this drink tonight. Okay? Diet. The diet version, though. Y'all ready? Cheers to Timeout Tuesday. I've never seen ice bounce like that before. Okay. That's quite good, actually. I feel like I'm in the way a little bit here. I don't want to. There we go. Okay. So you have football camp happening in the background. I know that Lester and Lex are going to work with Gemma at some point as well. And I kind of wanted to be here. We did a special thing with Lex right before we got to the JL. And then there's so much. There's so much going on. One more time. One more time. You ready? Cheers to Timeout Tuesday. Okay. So Lex got his first day in working with Gemma, and his second day is going to be enhanced because we went to go buy something to enhance his situation. And I'm excited about it. I just realized my shoulder is still in the way. And instead of moving the chair, I could just move the camera like that. Like a person who knows what they're thinking and talking about. I am clearly not that person tonight. It's been kind of a whirlwind day, and I'd be lying to you if I said that I had it all together and all planned out. I did not. I threw some plans together at the very last minute of how the rest of this evening was going to go. And even when we get done and go back home, there are still a few more chores that need to be done. But it's okay. They'll wait for us every single time. I haven't been to the jail ranch since Saturday. Yeah. I know. I was here Sunday. I don't know what day it is, to be honest with you. I was here Sunday morning, not for very long. Um, Lester and Lex's routine is to get a workout in the afternoon in the pond at home and then come here and do some of their football camp. And you may know this about Lester or you may not, but he was a football coach. And whether he admits it or not, lives for this moment. Even before he was coaching football as a teacher, I have hiccups now. Oh, things are going bad. And I'm shiny and glowing, and my nose is red, and I need to pull it together. Anyway, even before he was a paid coach, I'll just put it that way. As I understand, when Ellie was little, he would create football moments as well in the front yard. And last year, Ellie did a lot of the stuff with Lex. But what we've found out is that they mostly threw passes and ran whatever you call, I don't know football. I should also preface that. They would run whatever routes, the word routes. I'm learning. But this is like true football camp where Lester's like got him doing drills and different movements and truly getting a workout, and Lester's doing it with him. And just whenever he walked up here to grab the football and to say he was getting started, I was like, please be careful. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're hot, you're stressed, you're pressured for time, and there's a lot going on. He's like, all of that is true. I'm like, yeah, well, don't have a heart attack at football camp. He's like, good advice. And then he leaves. So anyway, it's neat. Growing up, football was not our thing at home at all. I know it's like very Texas and it's very much a part of everywhere, but football wasn't really it. Baseball was everything. And from very little on, we played wiffle ball in the front yard, kickball in the front yard. Duke's here. Duke's here and watching football practice. So we did a lot of that growing up, but I don't relate to like the football thing or camps. We didn't have camps or anything like that. We played like Colonel Nut Club T-ball. Does anybody know what the Colonel Nut Club is? Like, is that just a thing from where I'm from? Because we played Colonel Nut Club ball. That's who sponsored our shirts. And that was Little League. Everybody did it. It wasn't through the grade school. And that was your summer. And it was practice one night a week and a game one night a week. None of this like super extra tournaments all weekend, like craziness. My nephews are on like specialty leagues where they go to like pitching and hitting camps and like all kinds of crazy things. And I don't know a lot about that. I hate that Duke is by himself. I don't know what has happened to Grandpa and Daisy. And my heart would be broken if I drive around back and see that they're locked up in those tiny little stalls, as hot as it is, and for whatever's going on. I don't understand what's going on with the neighbors' horses. I've never understood what's going on with the neighbors' horses. I've tried to help. I've tried to be super neighborly. I've tried to do everything to give those horses a better life, whether it was here and we were providing it or helping them go live somewhere else. And the owner will not, he doesn't want anything to do with that. So I've had to like really put some things aside and just say a whole lot of prayers for them, because I don't know. I don't know what's going on or why anyone would want to have animals and treat them that way. And it breaks my heart. And I'm confident that Daisy's pregnant by one of those two, just barely able to be pregnant. And all I can hope is that somehow the other two found a better life and that Duke is waiting for his, because a horse all by himself is just tragic and sad. So, so sad. Anyway, I did not mean to be a Debbie Downer in that space. It's just, it's right here and it's hard to not notice, you know? I struggle really hard with not being able to save them all or to do something for all. Really hard. And sometimes to my own detriment. Sometimes in my lifetime, I have sacrificed a lot of things personally to help someone else or to do something for someone else. And the older I get, the more I'm learning to like take a pause and look at what's going on and what are you doing, Jamie? And I'll also admit though that I'm someone who needs like 987 reasons why not to versus one reason to. It is a fault. It's a fault. It's also like I have a hard time saying no. Extra work? Yes, absolutely I can handle that. In reality, I have no room for extra work. No room for extra work. I have no room for extra things or extra. I have no time to do any extra projects or anything else. But what do I say? Yes, absolutely. I'll get that over to you before your flight tomorrow. I did it yesterday. Full disclosure. My entire leadership team from my job is flying into Houston. We have meetings the next 2 days. And yesterday, 5 minutes before end of business, so that's 7 p.m., 5 minutes before that, I get a call that says, would you be able to put together a PowerPoint deck explaining XYZ? And could you do this research and this research? And what did I say? I said yes. I said yes, knowing good and well that I've been sleeping 4 hours a night because I have no time to do anything. Knowing good and well the thing that I'm researching is going to take extensive research because I don't know exactly enough to be able to do it. Also knowing that I'm not the greatest at PowerPoint. But did I still say yes? Yeah. Did I regret it from the second that it fell out of my mouth? Sure. And I got to get better at it. I got to at least set the expectation of, hey, I'm capable of doing this, just not in the time that you gave me, or something along those lines to be able to say yes if. And Joni says, can AI help? Yes, thank God for AI, because I was able to get some of that done a little bit quicker than I would have had it just been to me and a blank sheet staring at it. But it's who I am. I realize I'm 43 years old. I have been around this sun 44 times, and I've never been able to say no, ever. I generally have gotten better at saying yes if, which is a way to say no, or at least set some boundaries. But I wanted to be someone that people could count on my whole life. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a doer and a thinker and a learner. And I learn by doing. So it's gotten me pretty far. It got me here. However, I think this year I'm going to really work on not saying no, but setting the right expectations so that I don't fail, first of all, but also to give myself a little bit of grace in the I'm not superhuman at all, which is a really hard thing to admit. Really hard thing to admit. Hey, my ice melted enough now to actually fit in my cup. This is a win. I can only see one comment at a time. It's really weird because I'm on my phone. And whoever just commented said, I've done the same thing my whole life, but I think it's for the wrong people. Oh, trust me. I have done it for the wrong people relentlessly to a self-sabotaging place of detriment. I have done things for the wrong people. And it's like sometimes you're a magnet, or I'm a magnet, for people take, who take and take and take, and who, if they find someone who is a giver and a doer like you, they will utilize that and don't care one bit about what it's doing to you. They don't look at you as a person. They look at you as what you can do for them. And I'm starting to recognize those things. And it's unfortunate for the amount that I have given and done. But at the same time, it's taught me a lot. It's taught me a whole lot. In my career, I remember my first job at a doctor's office. I was coming, so I probably was 18, 19, and I would clock out and sit back down to work because we weren't allowed to have overtime, but the work wasn't done. I would also come in on my days off to get ahead for the next day on paperwork, on billing, and all these things because I wanted to succeed. And I've looked back now and I think that's crazy. Number one, I made $4.75 an hour. I eventually, after a few years, worked my way up to like 8, I think, by the time I left, which I thought was amazing. I thought that I had really made it. I will tell you 2 sides to that story. One, I learned a lot. I learned about anatomy. I learned about the physical human body and what it's capable of. I learned how to speak to physicians, and I learned how to speak to people, the public, and interact with people from all walks of life. I learned about billing. I learned about insurance. I learned about physical medicine. I was only there for 2 years because they fired me a week before I had Xander. They fired me and told me that I didn't clean the toilet, and I checked the box that said that I cleaned the toilet. And whenever I asked how they knew that nobody else went in to use the restroom after that moment, and that it was, or that I was set up by someone, they couldn't tell me. Now, looking back, I was 20 years old, pregnant, and they fired me because they didn't want to hold my job. They didn't want to pay any benefits or deal with anything along those lines. And I probably could have done things, but I didn't know. And I was too prideful to say a word to anybody. And it turned out to be a blessing, though, that I had no idea would lead me to a path. Firing me allowed me to draw unemployment and stay home with Xander for 3 months instead of probably 3 weeks. And because I had no money, I had no money to be able to stay home and do anything. But the unemployment helped. And at the time, my pride was so hurt because this was this first job in the professional world that I put everything into. I gave those days up for. I was working off the clock. I was doing all of these things to be able to make things work. And they fired me in an instant. That unemployment allowed me to stay home for a few more months. And then I was able to get a job that was literally a block from the house. And then I found a real daycare for Xander. And like, it allowed me to step into a place where I had to learn more, but also put myself out there and make my own way. I was already trying my best to make my own way, but I look back now and there are still people that work at that company that I was at that have never branched out, and what they know only comes from that one company. And I feel sorry for them because, in a way, it's almost cult like. When you work for a company and they only have their ways, and what you know is what you learned there, you have no outside influence whatsoever. You're really doing and believing everything that you do is for the greater good and this is the right way. And then when you step out like I did and you learn a different angle or a different approach or different things, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, they've been doing it wrong the whole time. And that just goes on and on and on. And I have to think that everything in life prepared me for what was next. And I know that I started this really deep, this live really deep, but I feel like there are certain doors that close and open and situations that force you into something else, but we don't understand why in those moments. And it's really crazy to think that all of the things in my life and how they led me here on a Tuesday night to be sitting on 50 beautiful acres watching my partner and my stepson in a football camp, drinking a cocktail with 3,000 people that I love and care about. Never in a million years, ever, did I dream that this would be how I'd be spending a Tuesday. And when I think back to Tuesdays in my life, Xander's dad and I broke up when he was about a year and a half to 2 years old. It just wasn't going to work. In fact, it was treacherous and tumultuous, and it was toxic and ugly. And in those moments, I thought that my world was ending. Very similar to how I thought when I was being fired, that my world was ending. And it's wild to think that those Tuesday nights after we split up belonged to him. To Xander's dad had Tuesday nights with Xander. And my Tuesday nights then were where I picked up a second job of bartending at the American Legion Hall in Breeze, Illinois, in the basement, in the club room. And I would work all day at the doctor's office, my new job at the doctor's office, get done at 6 and be at this job at literally 6:10 because I enticed the lady to stay after for me. And then I would work here until whenever it closed. And sometimes that might not have been till 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I would get up the whole next day and do the whole thing over again. 2 days in a row of like minimal sleep. But as I look back on Tuesdays in my life and how the routines were so different and how hard that I had to work sometimes, or how much, and sometimes I was sick. Oh, I was so sick, fever and everything else, but I still had to go because I needed to be able to have rent money or whatever the case was. And I know that so many of you have done similar things. You do what you have to do because, and I'm sorry for the men watching this, there's probably men that are like this too, but I think women, when we're handed situations that there is no other choice, that you just do it. And that's what I did. And then it started from there that I would meet people that would allow me to expand and work in different doctors' offices and different parts of the medical field. And then even different parts of event planning and parts of, doing bartending on weekends and picking up extra things to try to give Xander a life that was somehow easier than mine. And I ask him some days, like, do you remember those times? And of course, those very young ones, he doesn't. But he does remember a lot. And I only hope that those memories are of where it wasn't so much about what we didn't have or couldn't do, but it was about what we were doing. And my whole point in this is that this birthday really has, like, it's made me think deep, and it's made me reflect, and it's made me feel very blessed and grateful. And as it's the first Timeout Tuesday in my 44th year, 43rd, I've finished 43 years and now I'm on 44, that I really I want to find time and make time, and to make not just Tuesdays count, but all of the days count. And as I'm watching this little football camp here and knowing that Lester does not want to be running, I know for a fact that he doesn't want to be running. But at the same time, how do I make this go away here? Hold on a second here. I don't know. I'm gonna flip you for a second, so hold on a minute, okay? Nobody freak out. But I gotta make something go away so that I can actually. Nope, I can't go away. Never mind, just kidding. We're going back to where we were. I don't want to do that. I didn't mean to do whatever I just did. Anyway, I can't read anything. I'm just grateful that y'all choose to hang out with us and be a part of our lives. And I hope that every once in a while you take a deep breath and look back at your Tuesdays and remember how far you've come to. That's all. Lester is working on being able to get his what back? I can't read anything because I'm on my phone, because I chose to do it with my phone because I thought that I would need to be mobile. We don't hesitate as moms. Isn't that crazy? I feel like we all come from the generation and the school of figure it out. Oh, to get on Rita's back. Thanks, Michelle. The generation of figure it out. Dude. And how hard could it be, that gene? And we just do it. And there is no can't. There's a won't. But especially when your kids are little, you just do it. You just figure it out. It is instinct. I guess similarly to, like, animals and their instinct of knowing what to do and protecting their babies and all those things, like, it is instinct to just figure it out. Oh, anyway. Sorry to get so deep on you straight out of the gate on Timeout Tuesday. Normally I have a really funny story to tell and try to dive into it, but I'll be honest, like, today has been crazy and my head has been a little bit buried in work with that project I told you about. And also, I will be the next 2 days at this conference and I get a little stressed. There's a lot to take care of between both properties and with Lex here. That adds a whole lot to Lester's days. In general, it adds a lot, even when I'm here. But when I'm not here, there's just little things. And thinking through, I don't want to make him a list. I don't. But I also want to make him a list. Because I'm only going to downtown Houston tomorrow, but my dinner may not end till like 8:30, which puts me back at home at like 10:30, and then the next morning leaving again at 5 o'clock. So I may just stay downtown. And if that's the case, then I can't do like a walkthrough after I get home to make sure everything's been taken care of, because it's a lot. It's summertime, so there's extra waters that have to be done. It is a really unfortunate time that one of my chickens is missing or got taken, and I still haven't caught the predator. And we have extra traps set, but like I'm outside right now counting chickens like crazy. I let them out in the morning to eat with everybody else, and then I'm calling them back in when they're done eating. And I know that that feels ridiculous, but it gives them a sense of they got out, they did their thing, and they're going back in all while I'm watching. But then I'm still going out to count and recount because I'm paranoid. I don't know what you're saying. Jamie, they're just chickens. They are, but I also care about them and I love them and I don't want anything else to happen to them. And what has happened to them is absolutely my fault because I let them free range. So now it's my ultimate mission, number one, to catch the fox that's doing it because I'm so convinced it's a fox. But number two, to protect the rest of them. So I'm out there all day doing that. Then it's 110 heat index. So all the animals want to be sprayed down, and all the waters are having to be filled at least twice a day and scrubbed at least once a day because of the algae. And then Lex is a human being who's 13 years old, and we only get him a certain amount of days a year. So you want to maximize on that. Include him, which is, something that we're absolutely doing this year. Like, hey, come on, let's get outside and do these chores, and we can have fun while we do them, but let's go ahead and do them. There's so much right now that it is like, it's really, really silly that I'm going to be gone for 2 days, a day and a half ish. And then I'm panicking about it. But I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't worried. There's cats everywhere, literally everywhere. The dogs don't want to go outside because it's hot. And I know this is like super last on the list, but my plants need watered. Anyway, I'm venting to y'all, and it's kind of crazy. Before this live, my niece's mom, Jalen's mom, messaged me and she goes, "Hey, the Rat Winery's for sale." She goes, "There's a big auction of it, and you can buy the whole thing." And I'm like, "No, no, and no, and no." She goes, "I know. I just wanted to make you laugh that the place, I guess, is finally done for and is for sale." And I did look. Whoever buys it, I hope they make it beautiful again so that the next time that I take Lester, that I can, show him it really was and can be a beautiful place and isn't a dump with rats everywhere. And then whoever does buy it, I hope they don't watch our video about it because it was bad. Oh, it was so, so bad. Oh my gosh. That's one of my big regrets in life is that I talked that place up like crazy. I was like, it's beautiful. It has these fountains and ponds and walking trails and all these neat cabins, and they all have hot tubs in them. And it's like elaborate and elite. And they have this bridge that goes over the pond and like all these things. And if we don't get there and there ain't rat traps behind there and the whole floor is slanted and we're worried the whole cabin's going to slide down the hill and that the hot tub's going to sink through the floor because the only thing holding you up is linoleum, and that the bridge is literally cracked and falling, and like you name it, it was like night and day from what I remembered and what had happened. So I can't imagine what it looks like today. Cannot. But I genuinely hope that they do not look to find my video about that place, because whew, that was a rough one by far. Can y'all still see them moving at all? Okay. They've moved a little bit towards the grain train. I realize that that's pretty far back. There are birds nesting in the top of the RV shelter that are quite vocal this evening. I guess those are maybe barn swallows. Um, but they have a lot to say while we're live tonight. So sorry about that. But it is a pretty night. The humidity is crazy, which is why my face is point blank like glistening. But it's better than it was this morning. This morning it was like 84 degrees with a heat index of 100. It was nuts. The air was so thick. Something's over. I don't know if you could hear it. Lester just like gave the big cheer of "It's over. That's the game. Lex did it. Lex wins." Crazy. Margaret said it's in the 90s there. Darlene, I will not look up because I don't want anything to hit me in the face. That would be horrible. They do sound pretty. They're not annoying to me. In Michigan, the heat index is 114. Holy cow. I think the heat index got up to like 110 today, which, okay, if it's 100 plus, like to me, all the same, feels the same. I think our heat of the week is going to be Saturday. I think, no, what day is it today? Tuesday. Friday, I think it's going to get up to 99. And I think Saturday is when it drops. We have a little bit of a rain front coming in one day. And this sounds crazy. We need rain at JL South. This has gotten a lot of rain, and Plum Grove has gotten a lot of rain, but JL South, our pond is 2.5 foot deep, or 2.5 foot low, and absolutely needs to be refilled, and Mother Nature needs to get right on it. How was football camp?
My God. It was a tough one today, but you should ask him, not me. He's the one that worked. He's kind of.
He seems like he's walking it off a little bit.
He went through a tough one today.
Ah.
It's gonna get a little harder each time. He knows it.
Uh-oh, Lester's getting out a spanky stick, if you know what that means. Okay. There are fires in Canada again. I didn't know that. I know that there are out west. That's horrible. I think that Lester is going to go get Gemma. I have flip-flops on currently, but I do have my boots here, so I will put on my boots. I want to show some things to Lex and to Lester about Gemma and how some things to do with her as far as the grooming that they're trying to do. How you feel, sport?
Tired?
You're not even huffing and puffing though.
I am, and like inside, they're like.
Inside, you can still form words.
Oh yeah.
If you're really out of breath, you can't form
well,
words.
I did have like 2 water chokes, so like.
Oh.
I don't know.
Got it. Are you gonna get ready to take care of Gemma then?
Yes.
Your box is down there. The smoke is awful. I'm so sorry to hear that for everybody dealing with that. That is one thing I've barely had to deal with here, and that was 2 years. No, was that last year or the year before? I guess that was 2 years ago here where we had to worry about that, and it was scary. And I can't imagine being in a path of that. Maybe that was last year where we had some of that. I know 2 years ago is when the JL South behind us caught on fire. And last year, maybe it was the year that there were fires and smoke all around us. Lex was just wearing his football cleats. He's going to take those off and he's going to put on something else to be able to take care of Gemma tonight. I promise he's not leaving for good. Because if he's leaving, that means that's my ride. Lester drove us here. So yeah, I want to do a little bit of work with Gemma. It's time to treat her feather for mites and things like that to preventatively. So I want to show them that, and I'll have to walk to the barn. So I'll probably hook y'all to something and let y'all watch what's going on while I go find all the right things. I'm not sure where everything is here. We didn't get here in time for me to look, to find everything. I just sat down and went live and thought that we would just wing it from there. Yes, I bought Lex some boots tonight. There'll be a video coming out tomorrow because it was funny. It was cute actually. But yes, Lex has some boots to be able to take care of Gemma. Cause safety first safety's very real. Yeah, I can't imagine the fire situation. I know that my friend Nancy, who lived in the Palisades, is it Palisades? I think that's how you say it, in California, lost her home this past year. So many people did. And I know there's so many that are going through horrific things. And I think it doesn't matter if it's flood or fire or tornado or hurricane or even earthquake. Going through a natural disaster and the aftermath of it is traumatic. And I just feel so sorry for everybody that has to do that. Lex is still catching his breath. Must have been a good workout. Sherry, I'm not going to be able to teach everything today. I mostly want them to be able to tie safely. So to do the cross ties high enough to where Gemma can't get her leg stuck or anything like that. And then I also I wanted to be able to make sure that Lex had boots on, and then really just to go through some very basic things. I am not a horse expert. I should preface that. Not a horse expert. Not. I only know what I've learned and what works for me. So my goals are to just add a few things to what Lester's teaching and to go from there. I do all of the grooming work on the horses when it comes to like the medical things. So it's time for Gemma anyway. So it's a good time to be able to teach that part of it. And just kind of go from there. So again, not an expert. This is not a how-to video. This is not anything like that. I want to teach them both how to read the horses a little bit more and what they're saying to them. And just go from there. Who's Hector and why is he in the Gulf and why do I feel like that's bad? I know something was brewing today. Your name is Duke and you're not in the Gulf. You're not in the Gulf, buddy. I feel so bad for him. Oh boy. I see a pretty little girl walking across there. All right. Which is why Duke is excited. Okay. I'm going to put my boots on. Let's look at here. Looky there, friends. Aren't you so proud? What do you think? They feel good, he said. All right. They can't get worse than slides? Well, safety is better. Okay. I'm going to set you here for 1 second while I put my socks and boots on. Because I can't preach about it and not handle it myself that way. And guys, I know that you're going to see Lester in tennis shoes. Tennis shoes are better than slides, and that's what I'll say about that. And Lester's an adult and can make his own decisions about how he wants to do it. So don't be freaking out about that. I just had a moment of panic. I looked up and the dadgum mannequin sitting right there. Okay. How can I look at this pretty girl right here? Hi, Jim Jim. Hi, pretty.
Not like our visitor here, our neighbor.
Nah. She's paying attention to everything, though, not just him. She's walking real good on a lead rope and is very mindful that she has a halter on. And I think it's amazing that I'll call her a toddler. A toddler like Gemma knows enough and has enough respect that she's not trying to plow through him or anything like that to be able to get to this other horse, even though that horse is a very big distraction right now. That she's still handling it very well and is still a people's horse. I may not talk nearly as much because I'm also listening to what Lester's telling him, and I don't want to overstep or correct or anything like that. But I like to hear how Lester's saying it sometimes and maybe translate a little bit further if I can. Now, Gemma has already eaten. So she's not out here like super aggressively looking for any food or anything like that. So she's in a good mental space as well, despite all of that. And she's following Lex and paying attention to him, which is pretty awesome. I haven't put the bandana on Gemma yet. The past couple times that we've been here, full disclosure, have been so dang hot or raining, and we were in a hurry to get some of the chores done. So hopefully tonight we'll be able to. I want to scrub her down. I cannot stand her pig pen look. Even though I know 5 minutes after she's done, she's gonna go back in and go roll in the mud. I really just want to be able to clean her feather and get some of the gunk out of her hair as well. So right now, Lex is just working on leading her. I did get a new halter today as well for her, but Lester didn't know that, so he used the regular one, and I don't know what that is sitting on her like. I'm sorry it's so far away. We're on my phone and we're on StreamYard, and well, we'll get it worked out. No, the other horses are being very respectful as well. Roman and Rita are just standing at the fence like, hey, and Gemma feels pretty proud to be out and about all by herself. I know that Lex did not wake up one day and say, I want to work with a horse or I want to mess with a horse, but I'm so glad that Lester has put him in this position because there is magic when you can connect with a horse. And I'm 43 now, and it took me dang near close to 40 years to find that connection. And now I wouldn't trade it for anything. Nothing. I wish somebody in my life at 13 years old would have said, come on over, spend some time with this horse. All right, let's go walk a little bit closer. Or maybe they're going to come over here. Lex is pretty worn out from this football camp. I can see he's standing with his hands on his hip, the backwards, like hand fingers towards the ground. No one in my life had horses growing up. When is Rita going to get worked with? Rita gets worked with all the time with Lester. All the time. In fact, when we get done doing videos and lives, that's usually the moment that Rita gets pulled out. And Lester makes videos as well. Gemma's being really good right now. Oh, now she's getting frustrated. That was her little like pawing shuffle was like, hurry up with the show, y'all. Let's get this show on the road. I can do more things. She is a toddler. She has the attention span of a 2-year-old, which is roughly 4 minutes. Now, she's behaving. She's still gentle enough. She's still compliant, but she's mostly like, come on, I want to do something else. Show me something else. But to be young and to be reading that and knowing that, and to imagine that if I would have started at 13, the things that I could have maybe learned between now and then versus what I'm trying to cram in and learn right now, I'm jealous, is what I'll say. Hi, Jim Jim.
Walker, right through here somewhere, stand with square down so bad. Good. There you go. Good.
Oh, yeah. She's going to need a real bath tonight. I can't handle it. Her poor little feetsies are all brown. They should be white.
No, pretty upside down. I got it. There you go. Put that hand on it. Where? Yeah.
She's pawing at the ground like, guys, we got to do something else. Come on, make it more fun, make it more interesting, make it more wild. Let's go, let's go. Got a stick under her legs that's distracting her. She wants to smell it. Like, what is that? They're spraying her with fly spray, which might deter my bath tonight. Might. We'll see. I'm just happy that Lex is interested and that he is paying attention and not terrified. Because some kids would be terrified of this scenario, knowing that there's a horse that has the power that she does. Watch your toes.
I wonder what she's trying to do when she does that.
So she's telling you that she doesn't want to do what you're doing anymore. She's just impatient.
Of course.
She's like, guys, we got to do something much cooler than this. I need more. I want to do more. And, hi, Jam Jam. She's itchy, Daddy. She's so itchy.
Let your phone with you. Go grab your phone real fast and show Jamie's video, that image of that video game you have, that scary girl. It's just hilarious.
So Lex tells Lester and I last night that Gemma reminds him of a video game character. And Lester and I are like, what are you talking about? So Lex shows us this picture, and Lester just told him to go grab that. And after he's done, I'm gonna take over a little bit. I gotta be honest with you. I'm just gonna hijack
Did you tell
this.
everybody why we got such a late start today because of the fiasco we showed up to?
I did not say a word about it.
Well, I'll just say real fast, but we got a very late start today because when we showed up, there was a fiasco. We were having ourselves a true fiasco here. And I videoed the most of it. Then I looked around and Jamie was pee-patting me, videoing it.
I definitely pee-patted Lester
So
tonight.
we both got great footage of a true fiasco.
Oh boy. I'm gonna clean her hooves tonight, or her feet.
Okay, let's show everybody
Okay.
that picture he has.
It looks just like it.
So hold it steady, hold it real steady. It's like an eye peeking through hair. And there's a character on this game, and that's not exactly what she does. She has an eye peeking through. Yeah, look, she looks
It's
just
the exact same.
like that.
This is another one. It's
That's
the same thing.
Ring. That's not the
Yeah, it's a
ring.
girl from the
Oh
ring.
my god.
Okay, good.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So you want to do what to her hooves today?
We got to clean them up.
What time is it? So we can. How long you got on that?
It's 7:54. I got 6 minutes left.
We'll take her for 6 minutes and you come over and help us.
Okay. If you want to just spray her legs down and get them wet, I got stuff that has to soak on them for about 5 minutes. So I'll go find the stuff if you want to spray them down. Y'all. It is going to be a little bit of a challenge to get all of her things done tonight, and we're going to run out of daylight, so I won't be able to keep you. But, I find it super important to maintain in hopes of preventing things. And I'm in the back of the RV right now grabbing. This is the feather treatment, and I also will use, this is called soft soap, and it's for feather, mane, and tail. and it whitens as well. So, try to do this about once every 4 weeks, but sometimes it stretches to every 6, depending upon what the pasture's like. And because we've had a lot of moisture lately, it's time. It's absolutely time. Okay.
Let's found a really funny picture of one of the video games you like to play that reminds them of Gemma.
They're over here making a video and I don't want to mess it up. But Gemma loves to be sprayed down and they chose not to cross tie her tonight, which is okay. Totally okay to not cross tie her. I like to cross tie her if it's just me. It keeps her from being so fidgety and she knows that I mean business. But in this scenario, she's perfectly content with being sprayed down overall. Lex just goes, she's going to get dirty in 5 minutes anyway. I don't understand this. Coming from a 13-year-old boy who, you know, is in that phase where you got to be like, make sure you shower and use soap. Super important. But Gemma becomes much more patient when there's water involved. She loves, loves, loves to be sprayed down. I don't want to interfere with their video making. You'll be able to see the video afterwards. My Timeout Tuesday really was just about being able to hang out here with them, get out of the house for just a little bit, come help with Gemma, and I wanted to take Lex to get his boots. So I'm probably going to hang up with y'all, get her done really quickly so that way we can get Rita out and do her too before the sun sets. And I just have to tell you, thank you again for giving me the greatest gift of all, which is your time, and for hanging out with me on Tuesday. I know last week I called you the tots. I haven't decided if that's the right fit, if you're totters or tots or what, but here's what I do know. I love you, and I really am so grateful for you. There'll be a really cute video tomorrow of Lex acquiring his boots and his first trip to Tractor Supply ever. I'm going to run over and go help with this. Good night, y'all. We'll talk soon.